flow sequence that you can do with me today. I'm going to pause it after each section so that you can do as little or as much as you would like. Just find yourself a comfortable seated position. You can sit Sukhasana, happy pose, kneeling, hero pose. You can sit up on a holder of pillows and have your legs in front of you if that's more comfortable. And we'll begin by checking in. Taking a deep breath in through your nose. And a deep breath out through your mouth. Taking a deep breath in through your nose. And a deep breath out through your mouth. Taking a deep breath in through your nose. And as you breathe out through your mouth, arriving on your mat in space in your body and into your breath. And as you begin the process of noticing, just let your hands on the next inhale come up, cup the back of your head, lengthen up to the back of the skull to elongate the spine, ever so slightly dropping the chin down so that the muscles of the back all the way from the sitting bones right up to the cranium can lengthen up and then let go, and see if you can find your ears stacking over your shoulders stacking over your hips. And the inhalation finding expansion in the ribcage towards the arms, towards the sides and back of the body. And the exhale finding that length again. And taking one more full deep breath. Exhaling. The next inhale, raising the arms up above the head, interlacing the fingers, maybe rolling your eyes up. And exhaling with the hands back down to prayer. We'll begin with Kapalabhati, or a version of Kapalabhati, as this is a great way to fight colds and flus, and viruses. It's one way to keep your sinuses nice and clear and your lungs nice and strong. I quite like doing this, the Kundalini method, which is in kneeling pose, sitting. You can sit on a block or two. You might want a little blanket underneath your ankles if your ankles are not used to kneeling. You can also kneel right onto the floor. And today we're going to take it into a middle style Kapalabhati. So it'll be a breath in, breath out, breath in. So the breath in and breath out are of equal rhythm and equal importance. What happens with this is that the lower abdominals are massaging the diaphragm, and in turn that diaphragm will be massaging the heart and the lungs. So we'll do 30 of these, and then we'll take a breath in, hold the breath in, drop the chin to Jalandhara Bandha, reaching up through the spine as much as you can and through the arms. And then we'll exhale and we'll do another round of 30. Stop at any time if you feel giddy or dizzy. I like to count my Kapalabhatis on my fingers, so I'm going to do it that way. Cleansing breath in, cleansing breath out, breathing in for Kapalabhati. Last one. And with round of 30. Breathing in. Exhale. And sitting and allowing yourself to feel. From here we're going to come into a little warm-up, which I call my wings warm-up, imagining that your arms are not just arms but wings, and your wings begin in your chest in the middle here, going out through the pectorals and out to all the serratus muscles, all the way into your fingertips, and likewise at the back of the body, between the shoulder blades, running all the way along the back line, all the way to your fingertips. So we'll start with our right leg in front. Again, you can have as many props in front of you, and you don't have to sit like this. You can follow on in your own way. Rolling the shoulders back and just giving your shoulder blades a squeeze together. See if you can squeeze them together without sending the ribs forward and back. See if you can isolate, just squeezing the scapula together. And exhale. We'll begin. Breathing in, open the arms, squeeze the shoulder blades together. As you breathe out, right arm comes over, left belly button comes to the spine. Give yourself a hug. Breathing in, squeeze the shoulder blades together. As you exhale, bring the left arm over, belly button to the spine. Breathing in, taking your right thumb, holding it with your left hand, hugging it, and tracing the arm run all the way up the front. These are from your anatomy trains all the way to your pectoral connection here, and then just taking your thumb for a little hitchhike and finding your range of motion through these lines. Next time you come around, sweep your fingers all the way down to meet your right fingers. Turn your right hand, find your little pinky finger line. Trace your left hand now down the back line of your right arm until you come to your neck. Run your fingers up your neck, and then taking your little pinky finger to the sky and finding a stretch either in the side of the neck or the back of the neck. Where do you need it today? Take a full deep breath in, a full deep breath out. Breathing in, as you place your left hand down, bring your right arm over, breathing out. Breathing in, pushing down through the left hand to open the chest, or revolve the whole torso of it, and stretching into it again. As you finish your exhale, allow the whole body to roll around. Roll the shoulders back. Place the hands behind you. Either your fingertips can be forward or back or out to the side. Bring your feet down firmly, and we're going to squeeze the shoulder blades together, push our feet down, and simply come into a hammock feeling. Just swing the hips side to side. Feeling how if you push down into your feet and your hands, my elbows are slightly bent. And just find some power there. I'm going to try and slip my hips right back between my hands. Press the left foot in front of the right foot. Take a breath out, squeeze the shoulder blades together. As you breathe out, bring the left arm over, belly button to the spine. Breathing in, bring the shoulder blades together. As you exhale, bring the right arm over, belly button to spine. Breathing in, open the arms. As you exhale, hugging your left thumb with your right hand. Take your fingers all the way up to your pectoral muscle. Find your best hitchhiking range of motion. After this one, sliding your fingers all the way back down your arm to your fingertips. Find your little finger. Now trace the back line of your arm past the elbow, between the tricep and bicep, all the way up to the neck, maybe to the side of the neck. Reach a little pinky finger up towards the sky. Take a full breath in, a full breath out. As you breathe in, bring your right hand to the mat, push the body up a little bit, revolve a little bit deeper, and then exhale. Whew, the left fingertip all the way over. At the end of the exhale, let the body roll around. Roll your shoulders back, put your hands down. This time we'll come into tabletop. Bring your feet down firmly, putting your hands down firmly. Once again, your fingers can be turned whichever is more comfortable for you. This time, send your knees forward, send the shoulder blades back and together, just as we've been doing. Now lengthen the back of your head towards the back wall, and take 3 full breaths here. Bring your chin to your chest to come down. Sit your sitting bones back between your hands. Cross your right foot in front of your left foot. I'm going to come a little closer. Breathing in, taking your shoulder blades together. Exhale. Breathing in, left arm over. Breathing in, taking a hold of your right thumb, reaching through the arm line. And tracing your fingers all the way back. And tracing into your back arm line. This time I'll go for the back of my neck. Full deep breath in. As you bring your left hand down, push up, revolve around, and then send the right pinky finger over. When you come to the end of your next exhale, roll the body around. Coming up, roll the shoulders back. Time we'll send our feet forward, either coming back into tabletop, or you can come into full Parsvottanasana. So we're going to send our feet to the floor, toes and all, and we are going to come into a tabletop feeling with our body, just as we did earlier. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, connect the knees, send the toes to the floor, squeeze the glutes, and send the body as long as it possibly can for 3 breaths. Slowly coming down. I'm cramping my legs today because I haven't warmed up very well. And from here, Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing out. Breathing in. Find the left thumb. Tracing your finger to this connection point here. And sliding your fingers all the way back down on the back line, into the back of the neck. Breathing in, bring your right hand to the floor, lift up a bit to revolve the ribs, and then send that left arm over. On the end of the exhale, let the whole body roll around. Roll yourself back. This time send your feet forward and bring your block between the knees, and we'll come into Navasana or half Navasana. Roll the shoulders back again. Come into the tips of your fingers this time. Take the elbows back to you. So again, I'm not setting my ribs forward here. I'm squeezing shoulder blades together. But I am lengthening my spine as much as I can. And then I'll ease back into a bit of an angle and draw my feet up towards me by winching from the hips, allowing the hips to come up, still keeping the shoulder blades back, still keeping a lovely long line through my spine, and seeing if I can come into Ardha Navasana here with the shins parallel to the floor. And some of you may be able to go right up into full Navasana, full bird pose. Let's take 3 breaths. And then lowering down the way we came. And from here, let's cross our legs. And we're going to bring ourselves forward onto our hands. And maybe springing all the way back. And walking yourself forward onto the soles of both your feet. If you're a little tight in the body, feel free to take your blocks underneath you to lean onto. Some of you may prefer to cup your elbows, angle your head. Take one more full breath here. And then either pushing down to the blocks or bringing your hands to your thighs. Have a good look at your feet, make sure they're beautifully lined up. And round the spine to come all the way up. From here, we're going to take our feet a little bit apart and come into a squat. So there are many versions of squats that we could do here. If you haven't got any knee issues, you could stay right there. If you have got issues with the knees, maybe back up to the wall for the first time and then come down to sit with your spine against the wall. You'll find that you'll get a lot of fire through the quads, and in fact you won't come as deep as when you're on the floor, when you're at the wall, just because it's actually more challenging. There's more pressure into the knee connections. In general, the wider your feet and the more turned out they are, the easier it is. When you start, you may need something underneath your heels. If they're off the mat, bring your heels onto the support so that you can connect with the floor. A blanket is always handy because you can fold it to whatever height you need. You can also put a block underneath you to support you. And the other thing that sometimes there are a couple of arms that may help you when you begin. So sometimes you might want to have your hands in front of you like this to help you balance or on blocks. Some of you might find that this is a really easy position for you with your feet more turned forward, and you might be able to wind and wrap your hands around and come to a clasp behind your legs and drop your sitting bones down into Malasana. And some of you might find that your challenge is to come into a classic squat, which is bringing your elbows on the inside of your knees. I'm going to take 3 more breaths here. Once again, bring your hands in front of you, de-weighting your feet, turn the toes forward, come in for one more dangle. Let your head shake yes, no, maybe. Move any props out of the way. And then slowly coming to the front of your mat, bringing your feet underneath you, hip distance apart. Exhale, push down as if you're on a trampoline to float your body all the way up. Exhale. So today we're going to be working with very linear movement, and you may need 2 blocks here. You might find them helpful. Other thing that I find quite helpful is having a strap for this sequence, so, or a pole. You have a little wooden pole. At the distance of your shoulders is helpful too. The sequence we are going to be dealing with Parsvottanasana, forward flank stretch. We'll also be coming into Virabhadrasana 3, Warrior 3, and also a revolved triangle, Uttitha Parsvakonasana. So find a nice tension in your strap. My strap is approximately shoulder distance apart. My elbows are snug to my waist. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, we'll come into an Uttitha, bending both knees, sending both knees forward. Now the premise of this is to push down through the heels, send the knees forward, send the sitting bones back, but then lengthen up through the spine. Keep lengthening. You can roll your eyes up towards the sky. Take one more full breath, reach up. And as you exhale, bring the elbows down to the waist. Take a breath in. Take your right foot back. Keeping it hip distance apart. If you have a mirror in front of you, it's helpful. You can see if your back heel is sticking out. You'd like to have everything lining up forward, both kneecaps facing forward. Take a breath in. As you exhale, drop the right knee towards the mat. Send the left knee straight forward. And then once that knee's down, it's about 1 centimeter off the mat, reach up. Take 3 breaths. Push down to come up. Take the back heel in. Bring your strap in front of each hip, both hips. Send the whole pelvis back as your spine comes forward. Inhale. coming all the way up. Release that back foot. I'm going to turn sideways this time. You want to have a 90-degree angle on your legs here. Sometimes it takes a bit of adjusting. So I want to be able to drop down so that my knee goes perpendicular to the mat, and so does my front knee. That looks about right. And drop that heel back. Dropping the knee down with gravity and then reaching up through the arms. Trying to lengthen my spine. I'm also trying to not send my pelvis forward or back. I'm sending it into a neutral position. Inhale, come up. Turn the back heel in to root it down. This time taking the strap behind me, roll my shoulders back. Keeping both my knees a little bit soft. Send the pelvis back, the whole pelvis back. Bring it to Parsvottanasana. And then from here, once I've found my length with my sitting bone going back, both sitting bones going back, but particularly my left one, beginning to straighten the knees, pushing down to the feet, bringing my forehead towards the spine, towards my knee, and my belly towards the spine. My focus is to my belly button if I can, otherwise my right knee. To come up, I'm going to get my feet underneath me again and draw myself all the way up. Release that back heel. Bring the strap back in front of me. Stepping up. Whoops. And replacing my foot. Taking a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Bring the strap in front of me. Having a good look down at my feet are beautifully lined up. Taking a step back with my left foot. You have a mirror in front of you. Just checking if you've got your distancing right. And if you can see your back heel sticking out, just rotating the back foot. Breathe in. As you breathe out, lowering the knee down, 1 inch or 1 centimeter off the mat. Pushing down. When you're ready, lengthening up. So feeling the chewing gum effect of pushing down through the knee, but stretching up through the arms. Breathing in, coming up. As you exhale, bring your strap to your pelvis, drop the back heel in. Send the whole pelvis back, particularly the right hip back. The left hip might even feel like it's coming forward. Find your range of motion here today. Breathe in, come up. Bring the hands back to neutral. Release the back foot. Breathe in. As you breathe out, drop the knee down. Send the arms up. Heel down, this time taking your arms behind you. Softening both knees, sending the pelvis back, particularly the right hip. See if you can send your right hip all the way into your right sitting bone, all the way into your right hand here. That cue comes from Ian Finn, from Basology. Breathe in. As you breathe out, hinging forward if you can. At this point, you may want to bring your hands to your blocks if balance is not your thing today. And then bring your forehead to your knee, the belly button to your spine. 3 breaths. And inhale, coming up, pushing down through the feet. Release that back heel, stepping forward, and release more time. Breathing in. This time breathing out, finding the hips. Stepping back with the right foot. Dropping the heel down. Now this time we are going to use our blocks. And we're going to come into Parsva Trikonasana. In my Iyengar method, they make you send your left arm forward, right arm back. And then as you swing your right arm forward and left arm back, your hips follow. So just try that for a moment. Now send the right hip forward, left hip back. Softly bend the knees here. This just creates a bit more fluidity in the body. Keep sending the left hip back. Find your left glute with your left hand. Reach forward. Keep reaching forward with the right hip. And then once you've reached as far as you can, bring your hand onto your block. Or some of you might find your hand comes all the way down to the mat or onto your foot. So some people prefer to have their hand on the inside of their left foot, and other people prefer to have it on the outside. It's a personal preference. Take a full breath in, keep sending the left hip back, keep lengthening through the crown of the head, and then revolve through the waist. Pushing down into your block or into the floor or onto your foot. And then if you're ready for full pose, revolve your palm outwards, reach up towards the sky. Keep sending the left hip back. Keep sending your crown of your head forward. 3 breaths. To come out, release the back arm and windmill your arms up to come to the front of the mat. Breathing in, breathing out. Take a look down and make sure that your feet are hip distance apart. Bring your hands to your feet. This time take a big step back with the left foot and dropping the heel towards the floor. Swing the left arm forward, right arm back. Take your hips with you. Just play with that a little bit. This time we'll stay there. Place your right hand on your right sitting bone. Breathe in. As you exhale, coming forward, keep sending that sitting bone into the right hand. Find your block. Start high here. See if you can revolve a little more. And then notice where you feel you would be most comfortable. You might want to bring the block onto the inside of the right leg, right foot that is. Push down through whichever distance you've chosen. Revolve through the waist. Reach the palm of the hand up and outwards. Your gaze can follow your hand if you'd like. 3 full breaths. To come down, to come out, bring the back arm down. Windmill your arms up. Step forward. Take a breath in. Your breath out. Breath in. Your breath out. One more time. And breathing out. So for our third pose in this, from this place, the same line of forward, very linear poses, we'll do Virabhadrasana 3, Warrior 3. We'll step just a little bit back here. If you have issues with your lower back, you get intermittent pain or your lower back just isn't the strongest, don't work with your arms overhead and in front. You can bring them back down to your sides. You could even take them behind you for this pose. So let's come into it the same way we did in the beginning. The trick is to be able to push sideways into the strap or the pole. That gives you a sense of opening the shoulders, and when you are engaged through the forearms, you land up engaging right through, right down to the sacrum. Take a full breath in, full breath out. Breathing in, stepping back with the right foot this time. And that little bend in the knee. And then send your arms either up above your head, and if on the other side I work with my arms behind me, so you could leave your hands here if your lower back is a little tricky. Breathe in. And what we're going to do is do 3 attempts at coming into this. So we're going to come up, flex through the back heel, hinge forward, drop back down, come up, flex through the back heel, come back down. Try to get your heel to the sky, toes to the floor. This time we'll hold. We'll stay for 5 breaths. Whoop. We fall, come back down, try again. Last breath. Come back down. Step forward. Release. Bring the strap behind me for this one. Breathing in. So breathe out, take the left foot back. Breathe out, drop the knee forward, bend down. And then 3 attempts. So breathing in, coming up. The other thing you could do is take your arms wide with your hands in front. So arms come more out to the side like an aeroplane. Noticing my foot is turning out. I have to work on that a bit, the left one, and coming forward. 5 breaths. From here, breathing in, stepping forward. From here we're going to take ourselves back into a warrior 1 and open to a warrior 2. Bend both knees. As you exhale, just checking in with your feet. Your front foot is facing forward, back foot is also facing towards the front of the mat, so both knees are heading in that direction. As you exhale, send your glutes or your pelvis underneath your legs, straighten the back leg, bend the front knee, bring the front knee forward. Finding your wings again. Let them lift you up, and then exhale, settle palms down. Taking a full breath in here. Full breath out. Breathing in here. As you exhale, bring the left arm either onto the thigh or in front of the knee. Take your right arm, wrap the ribs around, and bring your arm overhead. And when you're ready, bringing it all the way over towards the front of the room. But keep revolving through the waist for Uttitha Parsvakonasana. Some of you may want to take a bind here. Taking one more full deep breath Inhale, bring yourself all the way up. And from here, we'll bring our hands to our hips, turn both our feet forward. Roll the shoulders back, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Interlace the hands, or use the strap again. And then from here, sending the hips back and the chest forward. Find a 90 degrees. If you're feeling a little unstable, have your blocks underneath you so that you can put your hands on your blocks. Otherwise, coming forward, just soften the knees for a bit here. Figure out where it is that your spine is going to land. Now, open the shoulders. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, begin to work into the back of the legs, opening up through the whole body. If you really tighten your back body in your back, bend your knees a bit and let your back release first. If your back is easy, you can begin working to the back of the legs. Sometimes I do a little bend on the inhale and a stretch on the exhale. If you find you're getting close to the floor, maybe bring your toes a bit closer in together to challenge yourself out a bit more. You want to lengthen through the spine here. With this breath, send the head forward and the arms back to bring yourself all the way up. Release the arms. Turn your left foot forward. Turn your right foot forward and step forward. Exhale, breathing in and exhale. Breathing in, exhale. One more time, breathing in and exhale. This time we're going to bring our blocks to the left side of the mat. Breathing in. Bring your hands to your hips, taking a big step back with the left foot. Turning around, placing your feet. Have your right foot facing forward, your left foot also facing forward. Bend both knees. Send the pelvis forward and then straighten the back leg. Bring the arms up so you have a front knee bent at 90 degrees. Open the arms. Feel the wing lines again, the arm lines as wing lines again. And then turn the palms down towards the mat. Take 3 breaths here. Looking over your longest finger. It's your bow and arrow warrior. So you're looking where your arrow is gone. On your next inhale, push down through the feet as you exhale. Bring the right arm either to the inside of the leg, or you may rest it on a block, or you can bring your elbow in here. And then from here, taking your left arm, revolve the ribs around so that you can reach up towards the sky, or you may begin to take your arm forward for Uttitha Parsvakonasana. Some of you may want to wrap your arm around and come into a bind. Take 5 breaths here. To come out, lift your front foot. Breathe in, bring yourself up. Turn both your feet to face the front. Uttitha Parsvatanasana. I call this giraffe drinking at the waterhole pose because that's what it feels like. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, send both your hips back. Lengthen through the crown of the head. Find your blocks. Bring them a shoulder distance apart. Lengthen through the spine one more time. And as you exhale, hinge your body down. You may be able to come down into your elbows. And if you can, start to walk your hands for classic pose of this is to bring the hands, walk the hands back, fingertips forward, and then bend your elbows so that you are getting ready here for headstand. So your head would drop down, you lengthen your tailbone to the sky, you're bringing a 90-degree angle with your elbows, and you're trying to walk your head in line with the arches of your feet. Your feet are a bit, the spine feels like a good length and a bit. Bring your feet a bit closer. Keep the connection between the elbows. On the next inhale, coming forward, keeping the hands underneath you. If your spine is tired, use your blocks to bring yourself up to halfway lift. Give yourself the opportunity to engage the core muscles. And then either bring your hands to your hips, or in this time, or if you're feeling strong, sweep the arms up all the way. Exhale, turn the right foot to 90 degrees, release the back foot. And then from here, stepping forward, taking a deep breath in, a deep breath out, a deep breath in, and a deep breath out. We'll just come right back into balance pose again. We can come right back into a squat pose same as we began. To the end of this little practice of ours, we're going to come down to the floor, and if you could just have your strap nearby again and maybe a block on each side, we'll come into a twist to finish. Starfish. From a starfish position, taking a full deep breath in and a full deep breath out. As you breathe in, bring your right knee into your chest. As you exhale, bring it in a little deeper. Breathe in, release the knee away from you. As you exhale, flex to the left heel and bring the right knee in a little deeper. One more time. Then from here, if you've got lower back issues, perhaps just bend the left knee. And you can take your left hand over to the right side of the right knee. Place your right arm out to the side. And then just let both the legs drop over. If you are quite flexible, straighten through the left leg. Let your head roll towards the right. And your block is there if you need to place it underneath your knee. You want to try to leave your right shoulder on the mat. Each time you exhale, see if you can let go a little deeper. For those of you that are very flexible and you're not feeling too much, you could use a strap around your right foot. Or you may be able to hold your right foot, and this will create an additional stretch through the outside line of the right leg. could be holding your foot, your big toe, or you could use a strap. Head can be rolling right or left. And then you may want to use the strap to release the strap rather, so you can bring the leg up to the sky. If your knees bent, you bring your knee up to the sky. Inhale, and then lower your foot, point and flex your foot all the way to the floor. Breathing in, bring the left knee into the chest. As you exhale, bring it in a bit deeper. If your lower back feels a bit twingy, bend the right knee. It'll give you a little more space. Breathing in. As you breathe out, bring the left knee into the chest. Breathing in and breathing out. This time breathing in, place the right hand on the outside of the left knee. Take your arm out to the side. Roll over towards the right, maybe placing a block underneath your leg. Letting your left shoulder stay on the mat. Let your head roll to one side or the other. If this feels like a good stretch, stay right here. If you feel you need a bit more of a stretch, maybe using the strap or holding onto your foot and coming into an outside of the leg stretch. Doesn't matter which one you do, it's what works for you. From here, take a breath in. Exhale, either bring your knee to the sky, or on the inhale, bring your leg to the sky. And then pointing and flexing all the way down to the floor. If you feel like this is enough, feel free to stay right here for the end of the practice. Those of you that would like to work towards shoulder stand, you could bend your left knee, bend your right knee. I'm going to have to get rid of this headrest and here. Bring your knees into your chest. You could either scoot your way to the wall and bring your legs up the wall right now. Or you could work towards doing shoulder stand by using your abdominal muscles. There's a nice way to warm up is bring the knees into the armpits. Work towards bring the feet over the body here, so stretching out the spine. And if you feel that this is a little bit much for you, bring the soles of the feet together and work with this part of the stretch. So working with either pulling with the strap or wrapping your arms around your feet and drawing the soles of your feet towards your face. Those of you that have managed to draw yourself up and over, or those of you that would like to go into full shoulder stand, you can put the palms of your hands down, squeeze the feet and knees together, and bring yourself up onto your shoulders. To get a little bit higher up onto the shoulders, you could scissor your feet, walk one arm away from you, the other arm away from you, and then bring yourself up a bit higher. This is Sandra San Martino's method. It's almost an elbow stand. You get your elbows right underneath you. Your palms of your hands support your back. To come out of the stretch, very carefully bring the knees together and very, very slowly allow your feet to come to the floor. Try to use your abdominal muscles to support you. And then coming into your version of Shavasana. You may like to have your blocks underneath your knees or underneath your feet. Hello, darling. Say hello. And then allowing your body to fall joyously and with abandon backwards into the earth. Feeling the beautiful aliveness, prana energy running through your body, maybe giving your body a big stretch. Letting go. Maybe you're lucky enough to have a cat on your tummy. And then slowly bending your knees, giving your body a hug and telling your body how grateful you are. It's your body. from here, slowly coming around to sitting. Come up, baby. Thank you so much for joining me for practice today. I'll close with one arm.